What up, y'all? This is Joker's Galley right here on the Fago Lovers Network for a special edition of 5 Piece coming at you right here as we're going to count down our top 5 Hallowicked tracks of all time. Before we get into that list, going to introduce the panel. Right here beside me, you got the host of Speak Your Clout podcast, co-host of UFCD Studio 17, Mr. Mike Sears.
And the boys, who's no gallery, what it is.
Directly below me, you got the Larry King of the Underground, Mr. Luke the Goon.
What's good? I hate doing these, but rest in peace, Menacide. Dude was a legend in the game.
That's right about that.
Yeah, just found out. So yeah, rest in peace, Menacide.
And then for the Hallowicked edition, we got probably the dude that I know that's went to the most Hallowicked's. I'm not sure the number, but it's got to be like 15 or something like that. Echoside Fiend checking in as well as his cat. I do believe his name's Hecate.
Hecate, yep. Yeah, I have been to 18 Hallowickeds. I wish I could say I've been to all of them, but have not. But I think I've made it clear in all my videos. Anybody who watches me knows that this is my event of the year. A lot of people like the gathering. For me, Hallowicked is my gathering. So very, very happy to be included in this.
Oh yeah! As soon as we started talking about the Hallowicked episode, I was like, we got to get Echoside Fiend. I know he's been to like 15 plus Hallowicked, so he's got to have some good stories and some good experiences and shit. So before we get into the top 5, let's just talk about what Hallowicked. Whenever you think about Hallowicked, what do you think? And whenever I think about it, it's the 1998 Hallowicked. I just been in the ICP for like 6 months. The first event that happened after I turned 18, where I could jump on a Greyhound by myself, I did, and went to Hallowicked 98 in Detroit at Harpo's, oddly enough. So you got like a 18-year-old kid who's never fucking been to Detroit, looking through the worst neighborhoods in Detroit trying to find Harpo's. But it was worth every bit of it, man. Every bit of the 36 hours on the bus and getting lost in Detroit, it was worth it just to see that shit. Like, it was classic, old school ICP energy. It was in Detroit on fucking Devil's Night. Oddly enough, the one that wasn't on Halloween in Detroit. I think it was in St. Louis that year that was on Halloween.
Yeah, I think it was on the was it the 29th or 30th?
It was the 30th. It was Devil's Night. Yep.
Yeah, I was at that one as well. And thankfully, I had just turned 21 a few months earlier, but I thankfully went with a friend of mine who actually wasn't super into ICP, but he was from Detroit. And so when he found out I wanted to go, he's like, oh, I'll just go. I can visit my mom, and he's like, I'll go to the show with you and everything. And so he knew how to get there. He already knew his way around Detroit. He was a couple years older than me, so he's like, I'll drive. I know my way there and everything. So if he hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have gone. So I was fortunate in that case.
Was the 98 Hallowicked the first one you went to?
That was the first one I went to, yep.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Me too. So
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even remember a whole lot about it. I mean, I didn't get like wasted or anything. It's just so long ago, and I've been to so many shows since then. Yeah, like it took me later to realize that I was like, oh shit, that was the one where they handed out the Dark Lotus flyer, And I remember you talking about it, Brandon, in a message that we were doing. And I was like, oh, that was that one, And I totally forgot about it. And even just a little while ago, it dawned on me that one wasn't on Halloween. I think I was talking with Beastmaster, and I'm like, wait a second, no, that one wasn't on Halloween, And it just, over the years looking back, I'm just like, oh, Hallowicked, it's on Halloween, And so I just kind of forgot about like what day it fell on, and the official one was in a different state, and so they all just blur together. All their shows blur together for me.
So it's the same way for me. I've been trying to find like photos or videos from Hallowicked 98.
Yeah.
Since Hallowicked 98, because like, there's no cell phones back then. I think people probably had disposable cameras, but there's no like video. But usually like Hallowicked performances will end up turning up on YouTube. Like you can go back and even find like 94 on YouTube, the complete first Hallowicked ever.
Yeah,
it's on YouTube, but like I haven't seen one song, one picture, anything from Hallowicked 98. So I've been on the lookout. I've been looking forever for that shit. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because it wasn't on Halloween. Maybe they did the video like that Psychopathic would always do just to have a record of it. Maybe they did that at St. Louis, and that's why it never leaked.
The official one, yeah.
But yeah, I want to see some footage from that, because all I remember is really that he had just cut his dreads, so he had that like long like WWF blonde hair. And then Shag
where he had kind of the kind of sticking everywhere kind of thing. Not spikes, but it was just kind of messy, kind of.
Yeah. And then Shag still had his dreads. He hadn't cut them yet. So like their look and them wearing the the orange and black face paint is all I really remember from the show. I couldn't tell. I couldn't even begin to try to tell you a set list or anything.
Oh yeah, I couldn't either. I remember the orange and black face paint. I remember thinking that was really cool, and that's really about all I remember of it. I mean, I'm sure I was just 21, so I probably had a few beers, but I know I didn't get drunk or anything. So we drove home that night, and I remember like being completely awake and alert while we were driving home and chit chatting and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just so long ago. I just don't remember it. So.
Yeah, I was 100% sober and don't remember anything either. But like you said, it's so long ago. Literally by like 2 weeks after that, I couldn't remember it just because it was such a blur going. Like I guess the whole experience is because like it literally came about in like the last week. I just like fuck it, I'm going, and like I was just in a blur the whole time. So it like all mixed together. I do remember they still had the those big vats that they would fill up the super soakers with. The ones that look like syringes, just a giant syringe of it. I remember they had that, and like Shaggy at the end picks it up and like hits me and the chick that I was with directly full on. So like we go outside and it's like we've been in a shower. It's so fucking crazy and cold and shit. Like so that was super dope. The other experience I remember is before the show, walking into the convenience store that's beside Harpo's and like grabbing a Faygo, walking up to pay for it and discovering it was behind bulletproof glass, which I'd never seen before growing up in Owensboro, Kentucky. So I had to figure out how to do that shit. So that was definitely something I remember. You got any other memories you have from anything other besides 98 that we've been talking about? Yeah.
So I know like one that sticks out in my mind is 2004. It was at the Fillmore. And me and my buddy Kyle went, so shout out to my buddy Kyle. We decided to go kind of last minute. He didn't even have a ticket. We ended up getting one for him off of somebody in line. And then this kind of sticks out in my mind too, because at the Fillmore, like the ticket he got was like for like the third balcony or something. But I had a ticket for floor, so we just went in, found someone else who we were like, hey, can we borrow a ticket real quick? And they knew what we were doing. And so I go back out and give Kyle the ticket that guy gave me. He walked in. We just gave the guy ticket back to the guy, so then he could be on the floor as well. His ticket that he bought off somebody in line got him in the building, so it's not like he ripped anybody off. But then we snuck him so he could be on the floor, and then so if he ever decided to go to the bathroom or something, he'd just come find me and I'd give him my ticket and he'd go and come back. And so that was cool that he was able to get in. And this was the year, if anybody else was there, again 2004. That, I don't know, half hour into ICP's set, you start seeing people climb up on the stage and not getting down. More people started going up. Pretty soon it's just filled with people. And all of a sudden you see a couple of security guys come and pull Jay and Shaggy off, and they just turned on the lights and basically cut the show off. The stage got rushed. And so then coming in, where they normally hand you your CD, they didn't give them to you on the way in. They tried to do it at the end. So me and Kyle are separated. We're just like, all right, we'll just meet back at the car. So I'm like going down the ramp with a big group of people, and all of a sudden the crowd just starts surging forward. I mean, I just had to start running with the crowd. There was nothing you could even do. And it was because this guy had come up with a box of CDs, and people just literally like ripped the box open. He's got it in his hands, and they're just pulling out handfuls of them and like running. So a whole bunch of people didn't get their CD. Me and Kyle meet at the car. I'm like, did you get a CD? He's like, no, man. He's like, I got up there and like they were all gone. And everybody's yelling about it. And so yeah, neither one of us got one. And, so Kyle, he smokes cigarettes and I don't, so he couldn't smoke in my car. So he's like, I'm going to have a smoke before we hit the road. And this guy just comes up to us, like just some, kind of a bum guy. And he's like, hey, did you guys get CDs? I got like 4 of them. And, he's like, $50 a piece, if you guys need one. And we're like, $50 a piece? Are you crazy? And Kyle's like, I'll give you $20 for 2 of them, and the guy's like, oh no, man, I bought these off of somebody over there. I paid, such and such amount of money, and I gotta make $50 each to get my money back. And we're just like, all right, yeah, forget it then. And he's like, well, hold on. Maybe I could go like 20 for, a piece, so 40 for, we're like, that would be losing you money with the calculation that you just gave us. And he goes, no, that's not what I said. We're just like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And so we started thinking about like, maybe I don't mean to imply bums are untrustworthy or anything like that, but we're like, maybe he just robbed some kids of those, you know what I mean? And took them to him. So like, we don't like, we're just like, yeah, probably a better idea not to get mixed up in that anyway. So never got that. That was Murder Cloak. And just about half a year ago, I finally ordered one off of eBay and got it in my collection back here. So yep, that was and for a long time I didn't have internet, and I never heard that song either for like 2 years. I'm like, I was there and never even heard the fucking song, you know. So,
damn, that's a slap in the
finally
face.
Got internet. Yep.
Insult to injury right there.
Yeah. So
I'm glad that whole like era of rushing the stage before the end of the song was over, because the first gathering got shut down like 20 minutes into ICP sets because a bunch of idiots want to jump up on the stage by the fourth song.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happened here. It was like maybe a half hour in, if even that. And then I remember like Jay putting out a statement that he was like, it might not have been Jay, but somebody from Psychopathic though was like, hey, just so everybody knows, we're not mad. We know you guys get excited when ICP plays and blah, blah, blah. And then like half a year later or something, Jay put out a newsletter, and in it he was like, yeah, he's like, I know we said we weren't mad, but he's like, I was actually super fucking pissed. You know? It's like, yeah, he's like, that actually kind of pissed me off, Ninjas. You got to fucking stop that shit. I was like, hell yeah, man, I was too. We drove 2.5 hours to go to my favorite event of the year, and it was my buddy who went with me, not his first ICP show, but his first Hallowicked. Might have been his second, but he hadn't been in a while anyway. And it was the first time we hung out together. We had known each other online for a while, and first time that we got to hang out and go to a show together. We were super excited, and you know, only to have that happen. And I do get it. People get excited at shows, but still, it was a bummer.
We talked about getting rushed out. It made me remember another thing from Harpo's. Like on my trip up to Detroit or to Columbus, and I rode up with the chick that I was with up from Columbus to Detroit. I penny pinched everything. Like I didn't eat like on the bus or anything. We'll be stopping at like layovers. I was like saving everything for that merch booth. And whenever I got there close, like I said, it took forever to find Harpo's because we didn't know where the fuck we were going. So we only had like 20 minutes until like war came on, and we wanted to get like as close as we could for ICP. And so we decided we'd get our merch like after the show. And then after the show, like all the Harpo's security guards, which Jay has said they're notorious dicks. Like in his book, he's talking about that. He's Harpo's security is the one that blew his grill out whenever he was firing the parking lot for no reason. But like they were pushing all the juggalos out. Like as soon as the concert ended, like they were just pushing us out. Mm-hmm. And people from Psychopathic were literally behind the merch booth going, what the fuck are you doing? We got shit to sell. And I had like $200 in my pocket looking at like that Malenko Hallowicked shirt that I was going to buy one or two of, that like blue promo poster. They had the fucking skateboard that's on like a Shockumentary, the skateboard deck that was there. I didn't get to buy any of that shit because of them dicks. Fucking Harpo's.
All money out of their pocket, out of Psychopathic.
Yep. And even Harpo's, because those clubs get a cut.
Yeah,
at least
they would
10%.
Get a cut of it. Yeah, so they're just screwing themselves too.
Notorious dicks for sure at Harpo's. What about you, Mike and Luke? What do you think about whenever you think about Hallowicked? I'm guessing y'all were probably introduced to the songs the same way I was pre-internet. Forgotten Freshness.
Yeah, Forgotten Freshness for me. Never physically been to a Hallowicked. I would fucking love to. And I just love Halloween anyway. It's my shit. The fucking horror movies and stuff like that. And those songs, I listen to those songs when it's not Halloween.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying? So, not much I can say about it. I would like to talk about it if I've been to one physically,
Yeah, we'll get you out to one sometime, Mike.
Yeah, I've never been to Hallowicked. I'm going to try and get there this year. I already have the time off from work. So hopefully I get to the one this year. Mostly the songs are mostly off of Forgotten Freshness. But I have a story kind of about one of the songs that's going to be on my list, so I won't talk about that. But mostly the music, and I always remember seeing the pictures of them with the orange and black makeup, and I've seen some of the performances online and shit. Horror, I was into horror movies before I even found ICP, so I was already loving Halloween, and all that shit. So this was just like cherry on top for that shit, Yeah,
that's very similar for me, Luke. Like I grew up, my dad loves Halloween, and so I was like introduced to not slasher flicks so much, but my dad likes ghost movies and old horror movies that he grew up with, like The Thing from Another Planet and all that
stuff.
Yep. So I grew up loving it. So then when I found, just like you said, when I found ICP, and I also heard the original songs from Forgotten Freshness before I attended a Hallowicked, so just like you said, it was just like not only are they like a horror group, but oh my god, they have songs specifically for Halloween. And then, oh my god, they do a show on Halloween every year. I'm like, I'm down, I'm in, count me in. So that's pretty much me too.
And they give you a fresh track for free, which was another fucking huge point we haven't mentioned yet, is the legacy of always putting out a track and giving it away for free to the juggalos. It started out being like a face paint. Whoever painted their face on the early ones got it. And then by the time I was there, I didn't have my face painted, and I still got it. So
I've never painted my face. So I've gotten one, well, except for a couple instances, I've gotten a CD every year. So.
And 98 was the first year it was a CD. Before that, it was cassettes.
Yeah, I never got any of the cassettes, obviously, because 98 was the first one I went to. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody talks about liking Halloween and horror movies. Kind of the thing with what is a juggalo is you can't describe a juggalo, but one of the main characteristics of a juggalo that I've noticed over the past 20 plus years is that you like Halloween and horror movies.
Yep.
Like I don't know a juggalo. It's like fuck Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween, horror movies, and wrestling. I don't know why, but that's like the trifecta right there.
Well, my buddy that I went to 2004, Kyle, he's not a big wrestling fan. However, just it'd be before the pandemic, so a year and a half, 2 years ago, he lives down in Kalamazoo. It's about an hour south of me, and there's a little indie wrestling company that does shows down there, and I got him to come. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go down there and go to the show. Why don't you come hang out? He's like, fuck it, I'll go. And he had a fucking blast. So not saying he's like super into wrestling now, but he was like, that was fun. He's like seeing that all live. He's like, that was cool. That was really cool. So now he's kind of into. I could do like maybe a 2.5. He's kind of into wrestling.
Said rank at about a 2.5. We'll get into our actual rankings of the Hallowicked tracks. I'll start mine off at the 5 spot. I do believe it'll be the latest entry on my list. Let me look at it and make sure before I say something wrong. Yeah, that's correct. It'll be Thug Pit.
Every Halloween I dress like a bag lady, then I ride around with my 380 looking for shady. If I catch him at the shelter, I'ma pull his file, chop his head off and bury his body across 8 Mile.
We drinking drink, we smoking dank, mobbing through these streets like a fleet of armored tanks. We dropping bombs, underground bombs. Fuck the whole industry, bitch, bring 'em on. It ain't nowhere to run when you in the Thug Pit. We starving, we wicked, we just some juggalos and juggalos on some thug shit. Yeah, we mad shit, we starving, we wicked, walking. It ain't nowhere to run when you in the Thug Pit.
It's wicked when you walking within your Thug Pit.
We just some juggalos and juggalos on some thug shit.
More than anything, it's just a reminder of how dope that fucking tour was. Every time you fucking hear that song, I mean, it was just laced with everybody. Other than Twisted, it had everybody I was listening to at the time on one fucking track, and it was like I believe it was the first time I ever got to hear Bone with ICP, and I was a fan of Bone before I was a fan of ICP, so I've been waiting for that shit forever. And Isham, he fucking stole the entire song, man. That fucking original verse that he did, gosh damn, man, he went so hard at fucking Eminem and D12.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't like Tech 9 not know that diss was going to be on there?
I think he said something like that.
I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's the song I'm thinking of. Because then later he found out that Isham like dissed the hell. It was something about throwing his body over 8 Mile or something like that. And he was like, "Wait a second," because he was like working with him or whatever. So
yeah, at the beginning, I know that was like the main punchline of his rhyme. I'll bury his body across the 8 Mile or some shit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Every Halloween, I dress like a bag lady with a 380 looking for shady. Hell yeah, but just like I said, and then every time I hear that song, I just remember that fucking concert and how dope that lineup was. And then I remember that era of where there was so many fucking dope ass groups coming out with new music seemingly like every 2 weeks. So I'll put that at my 5 spot.
Yeah. 5 for me, we're gonna go to Hallowicked 2000. Toxic Love.
After 3 years in a mental asylum, I'm finally out, and I'm fine now, no doubt. Rolling home, I see a bitch on a payphone. She was fat and round and had it going on. She had a name tag on, Roxy Carroll. Stepped up to her like, hello. We was kicking it. I said, I got this dick, sup on licking it. She said, I'm down for the tactics. Then my dick stood up like a Tucson cactus. I threw her in the back of my jalopy. She was wet and sloppy, but nothing could stop me. I was like, Jesus! Her dead yellow and smelled like a cheese pizza. I paid it no mind. I stuck my dick in raw and commenced to grind. I'm sorry. I'm so lonely, I'm so lonely. Did she burn you? Did it hurt you?
Roxy Carroll was a toxic waste barrel. You thinking you're hitting the net and skins, and you're fucking a toxic waste barrel, and you're burning your fucking dick piece. How amazing is that?
my favorite line from that is she gave me Skiffalophagus, no doubt. I'm gonna find that bitch and knock her the fuck out.
Classic.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I love that song. It's so fucking good. And that my boy Steven Oliveira, shout out to you wherever the fuck you're at. He didn't come to school. He's originally from Michigan, so he went to go to fucking Hallowicked, and I went to his crib and he showed me the box set that I wanted for fucking years.
I only just got that about a year ago.
So I got on the museum, I got the bazaars, so I'm happy enough with that. And those books are to die for. But
with all the photos, that shit's awesome.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I got it for like $60 for both of them, not like singular, but together. Yeah, so Toxic Love, man, number 5. Love that shit.
I was gonna go to that Hallowicked that year, and I was dating this chick at the time, and she didn't like ICP and didn't want to go, and I'm like, all right, I guess I won't go. And then like the next year, like late 2001, I ended up I broke up with her because she was freaking nuts, you know. And that's why I look back on it, I'm like, why the hell didn't I go to that? I'm like, I should have just told her to get step in it. And I'm like, fuck, so I missed it.
I want to get that freak show too with the green suitcase. I want
Yep.
All right, my number 5. I didn't even know it was a Hallowicked. I mean, I figured out later, but when I first heard it, I didn't even know it was a Hallowicked song. That's Sleepwalker.
My neighborhood in slippers and my sweats, snoring loud and mumbling, steady squeezing necks. Never have to worry about traffic or the cops. All I have to do is stay away from donut shops. I remember napping time in kindergarten class. Wasn't quite a killer yet, I'd only beat some ass. Never very popular, most kids would point and stare. That's why I break the nightclub and drink that shit right there. I choke up, kill 'em, have 'em, right. Choke 'em, kill 'em, and sleep right through the night. Choke 'em, kill 'em, have 'em, right. Choke 'em, kill 'em, and sleep right through the night. I hope it's like all bigots and richies that I'm killing, but probably an occasional innocent bystander every now and then.
That's okay, we all make mistakes, but are you absolutely sure that it's even you doing these killings?
The more I think about it, more I see that it could be. Every time I meet a girl and bring her home with me. Wake up in the morning, there's no sign of my sweetheart. Yet I see another hole is dug up in my yard. Denny's all-night murders and the Kiko's killing spree. Missing Sunday paper boys, I can't believe it's me. I'm the only one from summer camp that made it home. Could this be what's really going on? Let me sleep on it. I choke 'em, kill 'em, stab 'em, right. Choke 'em, kill 'em, and sleep right through the night.
That's my number 3, actually.
I originally heard that Psychopathics from Outer Space, and I had no idea it was a Hallowicked song at all. It's kind of a storytelling song. Basically, Violent J is going to like this like anonymous, like Alcoholics Anonymous type group, and he's talking to this psychologist type, or the leader in the group, and he's talking about how he gets up, sees a sleepwalker, and he kills people. And the hook is really dope too.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just chime in on it for now too, because that's my number 3. What I like about it is just the all the references to 24-hour businesses like Denny's and Kinko's and Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
How he works those in to find out that he's out doing shit when he's sleepwalking, and I love, just like you said, I love the little sketches. I love the second one when he's like, I at least I hope that it's all bigots and richies that I'm killing. You know, and the guy's like, oh, it's all right. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking funny. I love how he goes, I hope. You know? So classic.
And then he kills the dude that puts him to sleep. It's the therapist, like hypnotizes him and puts him to sleep. So then he kills him.
Yeah,
it's dope ass track.
That bitch. And I love I remember nap time in kindergarten class. I wasn't quite a killer yet. I'd only beat some ass. So classic, so creative.
I love the rhyme scheme on that too.
How he does like the kind of the high and then the low. It's really cool. Yep.
What year was that? Hallowicked?
That was 99.
99.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, because then in 2000 they released it on Psychopathics from Outer Space. That's probably why a lot of people don't think of that song as a Hallowicked song, like Luke was talking about, because so many people heard it first on that. Yep, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. All right,
we got your 5 spot. Yep.
Okay, so mine is 2001's Every Halloween.
A gorilla, a pufferfish, and a bag lady all made love and had a little baby. And supposedly I'm the one. But at this point, that's only purely speculation. On Halloween, people smile at me. The rest of the year, they dial the police. They kick me off their lawn and shoot me off their cars. But on Halloween, they're giving me candy bars. Trick or treat, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm still out. I'm standing on your lawn and I'm looking through your window. Tap, tap. I see a gummy bear on a table. You gonna eat that? My paint don't come off, and if it did, you think I'm scary now? Shit! I look like Frankenstein. It's been slapped with ugly, yet children hug me on Halloween. Every
I really like the guitar work in there. I like how it's really like very, very metal sounding during the choruses. I love Jay's singing in the chorus. It's really cool, like, kind of layered sound. And I love the lyrical content for that one as well. Like how Jay is talking how, like, you know, all the other 364 days of the year, he's a weirdo for wearing face paint and everything, you know. But then the one day a year, all of a sudden it's not weird, and everybody else wants to be just like him, you know. And then he's like, try having to live that every other day of the year, you know. Just again, just like I said with Sleepwalker, like very clever. It's the same thing. Just a very clever idea, taking the one day a year that he's normal and then putting it against for all the rest of the year. Everybody's looking at him, you know, and looking at him funny.
See you all again next year when you want to be Violent J.
Yep. It's like, you know, all the other, you can walk up to somebody's door and it's normal, but if I walk on your lawn any other day, it's, you know, get the fuck out of here, I'll call the cops. You know, like that's really clever idea, really good wordplay in there.
And something that probably only Jay or Shaggy would be able to write, because they've spent so much time in face paint to where, and then the rest of the world's not. So they're looking at like Halloween, like all these motherfuckers perpetrating now. They want to do it one day. We do it 365, motherfuckers.
Yep.
I moved up to my 4 spot now with the one that started it all, Dead Pumpkins.
That's my number 4 as well.
My number 4 too.
That's my number 1.
All the little cuties running down my street, gathering candy treats door to door, but they walk past mine. What for? Probably 'cause the pumpkins on my porch are real human heads carved out with steel. Cut out the eyes, man, it takes but a minute. Rip out the brains and put a candle in it. Maybe they leave 'cause I take them inside. Come and meet mother, 2 years ago she died. Little boys laugh 'cause they think it's just a dummy, but then the smell hits them, smells yummy. Open your bag and I give you my treats. Cross the yellow toes off a dead woman's feet. Take me by the hand and I'll lead you downstairs, and that little chimney's where you'll spend the next 7 years. Starving and weakening, chained to a wall, staring at a roach, hoping it will crawl into your mouth for a tasty cuisine. Yes, my little friends, it's a dead pumpkin Halloween.
4 of our selections out right there. Yeah, like I said, it's the granddaddy of them all. It's the one that started it, came in that fucking fresh ass tape, the cassette. It's probably one of the most rare ICP collectibles there is that first original pressing of it. The song's super dope. Kind of laid the tread work for all the future songs that have been coming out ever since. So I got to make sure it's on my list.
Yep. Yeah, for me, I said the same thing. First ever Hallowicked track. Just like I said, for every Halloween, I love the guitar work in it. It gives it that very heavy, yet kind of creepy sound to it. And then 2 lines in the song, as just like I said when I was on the last show with you guys, the Up to the Moonlight, I'm gone from the scene. Peace to Detroit City and have a Dead Pumpkin Halloween. I put that on Facebook every year on November 1st. And then I also love, this always pops in my head because I carve pumpkins every year still to this day. And the cut out the eyes, man. It takes about a minute. Rip out the brains and put a candle in it. I'm always thinking that when I'm scooping out all the shit out of the pumpkin. You know, it always goes through my head. And I think it's a perfect ICP song and perfect Hallowicked track. And it's one of my favorite ICP tracks of all time.
I like how the end is like, you know, jump steady in this motherfucker.
Yeah. It actually goes for like a minute and a half.
In this motherfucker.
Yeah. And then Shag's just before it gets into that, talks about stealing the little kid's candy bag and strangling him with it, Wicked Clown style.
Yeah.
And then they played that outro at the beginning of the next track, which probably will be on our list. So I won't get into the name of the actual song, but like it carried over to the next year's fucking version of it, which was super dope too.
In the classroom again, yeah.
Detroit in this bitch. This is hard. You know, crusty yellow toes off a dead woman's feet.
Yeah,
Dead Pumpkin is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's a great track.
Yeah, dark as fuck. Love
but
it.
It's like funny too, though. Yeah, it's dark and like really clever.
Mikey clocking his fucking bag in that area.
Yeah.
With
all that guitar work, but it's still hip hop, but with all that guitar and rock sound mixed in, and it didn't sound dated. It sounded really like new and fresh, and it still does.
Still does, yeah. I was washing the dishes and I was bumping that shit on my Bluetooth speaker. And I was like, damn, this shit is so fucking good.
Yep.
Classic shit.
Hell yeah. So we got my 4, Mike's 4, and Luke's 4. Now we're at Echoside Fiend at his 4 spot.
All right. Mine is 2012, Amber Alert.
We share this planet with monsters way beyond wretched. Slice them up, dissect them. Serpents for intestines. These glitches walk among us, spawn from Satan's bowels. So black is they blood, their hearts corroded and foul. They make demons look like fairies, a fear beyond the scary. They make phantoms look like phonies, the sickness that they carry. To discuss it is forbidden. May your tongue be bitten. An evil so unthinkable, in children's blood it's written. So cruel it's nothing cool. To the wicked it's the fools. May they burn in fire pools for demolishing the rules. Yet they weaken so pathetic. I'm the innocent they lurk when they strike everybody more than hurt. Sound the Amber Alert. Why does God let them cry? Too young to die. How can evil be so mean? Why don't we intervene?
I know this one doesn't really, it's not such a Halloween track. I actually kind of think it's probably cut from the Death Pop sessions, maybe, because that's the era it came out in, because it's not so much a Halloween track. I kind of feel like it's just one that they had and put on, but that one is the same thing I'll be saying with a lot of these. It's the lyrical content, obviously an anti-pedophile song, you know, and I like the idea where they're like, you know, I think it was towards the end of the song when he's like, why do we need an Amber Alert, you know? Like, we have this, obviously, to save children, but he's kind of looking at it like, why do we even have this? Why are people doing shit like this? You know, why are people attacking children, kidnapping, you know, molesting, all this stuff, you know? And just the first time I was listening to it, just all just the message that he's conveying in it was just really just hit home. I don't have any type of like connection with anything like that, you know? I don't know anybody that's dealt with anything like that. I don't have kids. I've never had anything happen like that, but it's still just like, it kind of made me think, you know, like, why do we need that? Like, why is this going on, you know? And so it's just a very, very deep song, I thought. And then obviously still with ICP's touch to it, you know?
think that's kind of one of ICP's many trademarks, is kind of sitting back and observing what the mainstream or even just what's going on in the world, and then writing about how stupid it is when you look at it. Like, why are we, why do we need this shit? Why are there people that get to this level that we need this fucking shit to prevent them from doing their shit?
Yeah,
like,
where they're not saying it's a bad idea. They're just like, we implemented this good idea, but why? Why did it come to this? So that's a very deep song.
That goes all the way back to like jesters making fun of people, making fun of society for doing dumb shit. So I mean, you go all the way back to way before the fucking Wicked Clowns were ever around for that shit, and they keep the tradition going. Move it up to my 3 spot now. Just kind of mentioned it a little bit. It's the second ever Hallowicked track, Mr. Rotten Treats.
It's mine as well.
Welcome to the other side. That's what they told me when I died. I was stabbed in the head. Look what you done did. All the blood bled. One juggalo. It was a cold, dark, scary Halloween night. My neighbors and the people, they didn't really like me, right? So they came and burned down my world. Just because I like to murder, they boys and girls. Halloween, I never meant to harm no one. I thought that you were supposed to murder, it was all in fun. I see the monsters and the goblins, I'm a killer too. But then they call me sick, so what was I supposed to do? I come back from the other side. I come for the people that took away my life. Trick or treat, bitch, my dead body speaks. You tricked me and now it's only right. You try my rotten treats. Trick or treat, watch as the dead man walks the street. Trick or treat, watch as the dead man walks the street. Mr. Rotten Treat's got all the good shit over here, boys and girls. I got balls, freshly picked from Detroit's biggest nut sacks. I got Milky Bar with the delicious razor blade filling. I got fudge, freshly packed for the world's finest fudge pound. Must return to the other side, but not before I take these bitches on a murder ride. Murder go around the dead body clown. Put the treats in your mouth, squish it all over.
Like I said, it's super dope. That Dead Pumpkins outro kind of intros it in. It's Jay telling the story or whatever.
What I love that intro so much, because it's like,
I do too.
That teacher is like, Jay, don't go there, Jay.
He's like, don't talk about Mr. Rotten Treats. Almost like I always get the idea that he knows something. The teacher knows something that the kids don't.
Straight up.
He's like, no, don't bring that up. Don't talk about Mr. Rotten Treats.
It's kind of it's
so
kind
cool.
of Freddy Krueger-ish.
Yeah.
What I really like about the song is like Mr. Rotten Treats. He's like, he just thinks that's what Halloween is. Like, he sees everybody dressing up like that, and he just thinks like Halloween is like you kill people and shit.
Yeah, we're
you know what I mean? This is Halloween. Like,
it's a different spin than the every Halloween track. Just another way of looking at Halloween, like how a person would view Halloween if you didn't know what it was exactly.
Yep.
Super dope track for sure. Like, just the character itself is iconic. That shirt with the list of all his fucking goodies on the back. That's one of the most iconic shirts. I still remember seeing it for the first time on a Shockumentary. Whenever that girl's taking off all the shirts,
all the
she got on.
Yeah.
Immediately I was like, oh fuck, that shirt is badass, man. Yeah, and like I said, it's become like he's become like almost the face of Hallowicked at this point. Whenever you think of a face, it's probably Mr. Rotten Treats. There's 2 or 3 different versions of him that artists have drawn besides the original one.
That's the cover of the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that's
thing. Yeah, it's
Mr. 8 Legs.
It's 8 Legs. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Straight up, doing work way back then. Even we got your 3 spot, Mike.
3 spot already mentioned, but a homie Luke the Goon. We got Sleepwalkers, man. 99 Hallowicked, man. Just not gonna go too deep into it because we already talked about it, but just the whole concept of fucking sleepwalking and murdering motherfuckers, man.
Because that shit happens too, or people use it as a defense anyway.
Wow.
And people have gotten off with it. So
Shaking rappers on my lawn.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Classic.
Okay, guys. Wake up in the morning. There's no sign of my sweetheart. Still, I find another hole is dug up in my yard.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
last year, UFCD last year, we did a Hallowicked tournament. I had the fresh Shaggy face paint on, and that won. Sleepwalkers won, but
I was thinking Dead Pumpkins won, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's my number 3, Sleepwalkers. Hallowicked 99.
What are we on number 3? Or I had the same as. So
yeah, I had Sleepwalker for number 3 as well. So
yeah, there you go. All right.
Goes back up to 2. Go back up to 2 for my 2 spot.
Yep.
Be another early classic from the Hallowicked repertoire, Halloween on Military Street.
Mine as well.
Classic.
Mine as well.
Mine too.
Damn it, another Halloween. People on military know what this means. Houses on fire, they're blowing up cars. Creatures on the streets, and razor blades and candy bars. I went to trick or treat the first house on my block. He spit in my face and gave me a rock. I tried to give it back and said I'll take nothing instead. Turned around and walked away and felt the rock peg me in the head. Walked to the next house directly next door, and there I found an old lady dead on the floor. I said, excuse me miss, but do you have a drink? She lifted her leg and scraped flakes off her dead feet. I ran to the next house happy and giddy. There I seen a fat woman holding up her titty. I said trick or treat, she said treat or trick, and squeezed on her titty until it fucking is too sick. Next house I was set back in the woods. I was a little frightened, but fuck, I want the goods. I knocked on the door, I heard a knock back, and then I heard, and yo, I'm like, fuck that. This house belongs to Miss Cherry Spoon. She said drop your drawers and your treat is coming soon. I quickly grew a sniffy, but kept my eyes shut. A hand came out the mail, shoot and flicked me in the nuts. I wobbled to the next house, ready for the worst, and chilling in the drive was a long black hearse. I rung the doorbell and said, is anybody home?
Of course, little boy, have a sugar-coated candy.
It's like a classic story of a kid going trick-or-treating, but in a fucked up Southwest Detroit neighborhood. Like it's like the Juggalo version of going trick-or-treating.
That's one every time I listen to it, I can literally see a movie in my head of it because it's so descriptive, and all the different weird characters he comes across, and
it's all about going to
power bomb somebody in the street, and
it's all about going to Detroit '98. I wanted to see Hot Hits. I wanted to see Rock of Ages. I wanted to see Military Street. And I wanted to see the Faygo Plant. That's how famous that song is. And I was like, fresh off the fucking Greyhound, looking for Military Street just so I could like take a picture on Military Street. So I mean, it's in the fucking Juggalo lure now. I'm sure I'm not the only Juggalo to ever go to Military Street and take pictures. And it was really cool.
I'm sure you're not.
It was really cool. They did that Patreon thing where they went to like all the old school things and showed shit like that. So now Juggalos kind of have like a map to be able to find exactly what they're talking about. It makes me think of the dog beats like rope. That was probably the freshest thing on that whole thing. That was still hanging there.
Disappeared a couple days later.
Now that was rumor. Shaggy said he went back and checked like a couple weeks after that, and it was still there.
Oh, good.
He said it on the Shaggy and the Creep show.
Like, leave that shit there, man.
Yeah, for real. That's like a place Juggalos could go to just take a picture. You know, that's like a landmark now. Just leave that shit there. They'll take it and fucking put it on the museum.
Which I thought was gonna happen.
I did too, for sure.
Yeah.
What you got at your 2 spot, Timmy?
We're moving on to me already, aren't we? So for my number 2, 2009's If I Ate Your Brains.
The dead is walking, now give me some brains. Hungry, yummy, gobble, gummy, give me your brains. The dead is here, now give me some brains. Hungry, yummy, gobble, gummy, give me your brains. The dead is walking, now give me some brains. Hungry, yummy, gobble, gummy, give me your brains. I want some brains, give me those brains. Brains.
Sleeping in my bed, I can't explain the horror. Somebody fucking dead started kicking in my door. I looked to the window and there was someone else breaking through the glass and knocking shit off my shelf. I started screaming like a pussy, nothing I could do. I know that you would too if fucking zombies came for you. They trapped me in the corner and they instantly attacked. One bit into my arm while the others bit my back. I was dead for the moment, at least that's what I thought. And then I started waking
waking up, hurting and distraught. I looked in the mirror, it was evidently clear somebody ate my fucking brains out. I'm lucky to be here and now I'm fucking hungry like I never was before. And fresh human brains is the only fucking course. I was starving, 1,000 different pains, only one agenda, to find some fucking brains. If I ate your brains, but I have your attitude. Yummy, 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 yeah. Till I ate your brains, I'ma stay mad at you. Yummy, 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 ooh, delicious. If I ate your brains, but I have your attitude. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
At the time this came out, I was hardcore into zombies. I know that was kind of the height of the zombie, you know, Walking Dead, all that stuff. I don't know if Fear the Walking Dead was out yet, but that's another one. Just with it being a Halloween song, it's very descriptive, lyrical content. I like how he has a lot of references to the being attacked and then waking up. You know, like it's just like I started waking up hurting and distraught, and then the other one, you know, he goes and gets the other thing I should point out too. A lot of it reminds me of like Return of the Living Dead, where the zombies could somewhat talk. There was the scene when in Return of the Living Dead where the zombies attack and they kill all the paramedics that showed up, and then one of them takes the CB and he's like, "Send more paramedics," you know. So that like kind of reminds me of this song where he's talking about driving the car even after he's a zombie, and he gets to that house and he says he fronted to the family like he was the pizza man, got inside and ate as many brains as they can, and then he talks about all the other zombies coming in, and then he says now the family's waking up, joining on the hunt, you know, for some bloody brains, give us what we want. Just all the description of, you know, the people dying and then coming back. And my one complaint about that song is I wish Shaggy had his own verse, because I was thinking like, you know, Jay could have had a verse and then Shaggy, and then like the third verse they could have like met up in the song, you know, like the two characters could have met up. And I know he's on the chorus, but I just thought that would be one that would have been perfect for a Jay to have a verse, then Shaggy, and then the third verse then go back and forth and talking about maybe killing people together, like they meet up and then go after people together. So I thought that was kind of a missed opportunity there, but still absolutely great song. And that's another one I have played for a lot of my friends that don't even like ICP, and I've heard very few complaints about it. A lot of people are saying like that it's a really creative song and really, really cool, even if they don't like ICP. So.
To add to that, that's the more modern Hallowicked track that I hear people say is their favorite track. If they don't say it's one of the first like 5 or 6, it's usually If I Ate Your Brains.
Yep. It's a really good production on it. The Jay's flow is super cool.
What year was that?
2009.
That was Bang Pal Boom era, man. They were putting out so much fresh shit then, man.
Yeah,
they were like songs that missed the album, just like bonus tracks for some.
Yeah, we're like
fucking
great. Yeah,
some of my top 5 songs on this list are bonus tracks from the fucking Bang Pal Boom era. They were pushing out so much fire then.
Yeah, that's actually Bang Pal Boom is one of my favorite albums by them. Period. So, If I Ate Your Brains, classic track, even though it's not among the old classic tracks. It's for as far as newer stuff, classic.
Move it up to the 1 spot now with a classic for me, for sure. It's going to be the one I picked up, Bad Harpo's 1998, Pumpkin Carver.
Me as well, bro. Me as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, money got a big ass head. Who look like a stop sign. Fuck, dog. Hey, we gotta go get that motherfucking ball of brains. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. What? You wanna make a song about that? Squeezing on a nigga till it's all out of breath. You wanna hear me rap about being the hardest? Well, fuck that. From now on, I'm an artist. I carve pumpkins, chop chewy, slice, swing twice, stab screwy, ooh, hey, chewy, dooey, gooey, slap. It all starts with a quick chop, drop. Pumpkin rolls on the floor, almost out the front door. But we can't have that. Cut along the hairline, ball cut. Hold the pumpkin between your legs and lift up. Boing, brains, snippity snip, all the veins, snip cut. What the matter? You don't wanna do it? Well, fuck it then, screw it. You'll never be a pumpkin carver. Carvers that be the hardest. SoCal, Motown, collecting bodies, twisted clowns and the cotton kids. Halloween, 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 Halloween. Pumpkin carvers that be the hardest. SoCal, Motown, collecting bodies, twisted clowns and the cotton kids. Halloween.
much wrote the same list.
We did.
It like I said, it's the CD I got whenever I got to my first Hallowicked. Immediately started listening to it whenever I got home as my introduction to Cottonmouth Kings. And then at Hallowicked '98, I just seen fucking Twisted on stage because they did like a 3 or 4 song like little mini set, and that was the first time other than $85 an hour I was getting to hear like Twisted. So it was a track that pretty much introduced me to 2 groups that would go on to be some of my favorites. I always thought it was funny. I don't know if you can see it real well or not. They misspelled Twisted. They spelled it with an E on the end. So even back in the day, Psychopathic was still doing the misspellings. Yeah. But aside from all the shit I just talked about with it being sentimental, it's a fucking badass song, man. It's like I said, 3 of my favorite artists on one track: ICP, Twisted, Cottonmouth Kings. About Halloween, my favorite fucking holiday. Not much more I need to say about that.
No, that is a classic.
Like your little brother, neck nuggets start to fling. Terror is what we bring. Twisted, ICP, and the Cottonmouth Kings.
Oh, yeah.
Shit was fire, bro. That's what I was gonna say. This is what I was talking about earlier, where I had heard the earlier songs of Forgotten Freshness, and I don't know how it happened because I didn't go to Hallowicked and my friend didn't go to Hallowicked, but we had the single. We had that single that you had. Maybe his brother went or something like that, and we listened to that shit on repeat. And it may have been the first time I'd heard ICP and Twisted on the same track. I'm not 100% sure, but it may have been. But yeah, that shit was my anthem. That's one of those Hallowicked songs I listen to throughout the year. It don't have to be Halloween for me. I'll listen to that track all throughout the year.
Got a really good like tempo to it. It's one of the more upbeat tempo Hallowicked tracks. Also came with the had like the interview on the back. I don't know if we've talked about that on the show yet or not, but it's basically like Violent J doing an interview, but it's got so much echo on it that you can barely even understand what the fuck he's saying. So it's a really weird interview. You're not missing nothing if you ain't ever heard it.
And that was
I don't even remember that one.
That's when Cottonmouth was popping too. Like they were putting out good shit at that time, man.
Cottonmouth Kings was on tour with this tour, and they were supposed to be at Hallowicked. They got kicked off for trading fucking backstage passes for weed.
Cottonmouth Kings? I don't believe it.
Saint Dog, to be specific.
You know how I feel about Cottonmouth Kings. So,
rest in peace, bro.
I think that needs to happen soon. I'm listening.
Yeah, we're gonna do a listening party for Royal Highness. Cottonmouth Kings with Mike. He's never heard the album, and it's my absolute favorite Cottonmouth Kings album.
Oh, by far. Like probably 8 of my favorite top 10 Cottonmouth King tracks are on that album. Like not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
I remember me and Romebone did top 5 Cottonmouth King songs on his fucking page, and our number one were both Royal Highness, and the reason was because Saint Dog was on it. That's the only one with Saint Dog on it, man. Other than like Hidden Stash 1, which is kind of like shit that shouldn't be released.
I never even heard Saint Dog rap before, so for a treat, I guess, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I never got too into Cottonmouth Kings myself. Just
never liked them.
I was never a big pothead, and that's weird because my buddy Rob is like hardcore into them, but doesn't smoke weed either. I'm like, how does that, you know?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't smoke either. I don't smoke weed, but I love their shit. It's so
I don't dislike them. I just never got really into them. So.
Me and Brandon are like Cheech and Chong in this motherfucker. I'm feeling that shit right now.
I've purchased more copies of Royal Highness than any other album ever. I've either had 4 or 5. I've had 5, but I don't know if I bought the 5th one. I think it was given to me, but because like it came out whenever I was starting to smoke weed, like we just started smoking weed, and I'd always bring that album with me. And then, you know, you just start smoking weed, you get so fucking blasted those first few times, you leave it behind or drop it and scratch it up. I had 4 of those that I know I bought for sure, and then I think a 5th one that was given to me by a homie. You still got your one spot to go, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, what he talked about, you know what it is, man. Mr. Roundtrees. 94, right? No, 95.
95, second one.
Yeah, 95, yep.
95, man. Classic. Like the Brandon said, the t-shirt, you know, amazing song. Mikey Clark's production is just crazy. I can't say that enough. Yeah. Number 1 with a bullet, Mr. Roundtrees.
Oh yeah.
Song. Beyond classic.
And Echoside Fiend already announced his one. Go ahead and announce it again.
Yeah, it was Dead Pumpkins. So just classic track. And I've brought it up numerous times how much I like the piece to Detroit City and have a Dead Pumpkin Halloween. Just like Mike said, Mike Clark in his prime. So at his absolute best. Just classic track.
It just sounds like Southwest Detroit. I don't know how shit can sound like something, but it does. It sounds like a fucking cold October night in Southwest Detroit. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
To me, it just sounds like ICP. Like if I heard that and didn't know who ICP was, I'd probably be like, somehow this is ICP, and I don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? It just sounds exactly like what they're supposed to sound like.
And like I said, it started off the whole Hallowicked tradition. Probably the majority of juggalos. If it's not Hallowicked, it's the gathering. It's probably 50-50 between people that go to each and think it's their best of the year. And like I said earlier, just being a juggalo, Halloween and horror movies are so synonymous. So it's dope that they've got this fucking tradition that's been going since 1994 that they ain't ever missed out. Even COVID couldn't stop them. They did that shit at their fucking house.
At his house,
dressed up as LOD, looking fucking pimp as fuck.
Yeah, that was dope. That was so dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was dope, man.
I just always say when I think of Halloween, I think of like either like the countryside, like a dirt road out in the country with like a farm with pumpkins and and fences with maybe pumpkins on them and leaves on the ground, or I think of Detroit. Either this, like, for me, Halloween triggers one of those two. So whether it's ICP or whatever, just Detroit. I just think Detroit, the countryside with a full moon, or Detroit with a full moon over it. And the city crumbling and falling apart and just dark and foggy and I love it.
Yeah, when you think about Dead Pumpkins, like the end, I feel that way about Halloween on Military Street.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Happy Halloween and Clown.
Love to the whole city.
Yeah. I love that part of the ending,
Yep.
Yeah, because arguably, I don't know if ICP would have been as big as they are without the whole Hallowicked thing. Like I said, I haven't met a juggalo that doesn't like horror movies or Halloween. Like, me and my mom's been decorating her house since I was like 4 years old.
Yep.
And we still do to this day, so... that's one thing I've noticed with all juggalos is we all love Halloween. So putting on a yearly event and making it pretty much your showcase, especially until the gathering took over, was a really fucking smart move by ICP for sure.
Yeah, it fits them perfectly, and again, even before them, Detroit was synonymous with Halloween, with Houdini and just shit like that. And obviously then in later years, the Crow, the Crow became huge, and James O'Barr is from Detroit. And I don't know if I've watched the Crow movie a million times. I don't know if they actually say that it's Detroit that it takes place in, but that is what it's supposed to be, and so that's very
the whole Devil's Night
Devil's
tradition.
Night. Yeah. I don't know if they, like I said, I've seen that movie so many times. I don't know how I don't know if they say it or not, but I don't think they come right out and say this is Detroit. They just talk about it being a city that, whatever. But obviously it's clearly what it is, and James O'Barr is from that area, so.
D12 claimed it for Detroit whenever they released their first album called Devil's Night.
That's a great album.
I ended up listening to some of that album after I was listening to the Hallowicked tracks, just because that's like that same era whenever I was first getting into like the Hallowicked shit. Before we get out of here, we always do some honorable mentions. I had Sleepwalkers. I think that got brought up a couple different times. The other one I had was Wicked Halloween. It's actually the beat from Ill Connect from Blaze.
Yeah.
So
I think I read that somewhere. I don't know if I would have noticed it, but yeah.
Yeah. So I immediately connected to it because I really like that song. And then now whenever I hear it, I'm connected to that beat, and it's pretty dope ass fucking song. It's probably the most recent Hallowicked track that I'll have on my list. Anybody else got any honorable mentions?
I mean, Mr. Johnson's Head, but
yeah. I actually forgot to write that down. The remix. Yeah, I love that. I love the music change up in it. Yeah.
I wouldn't have put that on there just because it was released almost as the same song on Ringmaster before. That's why I wouldn't make my list.
That's why it's not on my list, and it's an honorable mention. Because
I was going to put that on my honorable mentions, and I forgot. Honorable mention for me. I Saw a Monster from 2011. The story of Jay's being chased down by a monster. Whether or not it actually happened, I kind of highly doubt. But whatever. It's cool that we'd all read the book and know the story, and then a couple of years later, what would be like 10 years later, they made the song of it. So it's really cool to hear him tell the story, but in musical form. So definitely like that from 2011.
You got any honorable mentions, Mike? Pumpkin Carver. Yeah, I've definitely got no beef with that being on the honorable mentions list. My number one, like I already talked about. Before we let Timmy get out of there, he's been to so many Hallowickeds. Do you got any merch that was memorable to you that you were really fucking excited that you were able to score? Because whenever I think about merch, I think about that fucking Harpo Security. Now let me get that crispy fucking Maliko Hallowicked shirt. So I don't have any.
Yeah, generally I just pick up I'll always pick up the exclusive, the Detroit exclusive Hallowicked shirt. Last few years, I can't remember exactly what they were. There was the one that was the black light glow. It might have been the same for all the tour stops, but the back will always say Detroit, and like whatever venue. So I usually pick that up every year. Yeah, that's usually the only like exclusive thing I'll pick up. Otherwise, I just pick up like a vinyl or something that I didn't see somewhere else. I know I got the Death Racers DVD when they put that out. I ended up getting that at Hallowicked. Oh, I got the Jump Steady, The Road. So I'm glad I picked that up when I got that. I bought that at Hallowicked, whatever year that came out.
Did you get any of the character shirts they released a couple years ago? Those were super dope.
Was that like the? I got the Michael Myers one.
I have Leatherface.
Yeah,
nice.
I got
Myers.
I forgot about those. Yeah, yep. I picked up Michael Myers.
Yeah, the Leatherface one is so dope.
Yeah, he's like got the chainsaw and shit. Yeah. Those were all cool.
He's got the mallet. He's got the mallet, and then he's got the chainsaw on the other hand.
Is that right? Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up more. I wanted to get like Michael Myers and Leatherface, and wasn't there a Freddy Krueger one?
There's two dope as Freddy Krueger doing the...
Yeah, doing the fuck off, fuck off, grabbing the crotch and all that, Yeah, there was a few of them I wanted to get, and then a couple years ago, I don't know if these were Hallowicked exclusives, because I got them when me, DC Fago guy, Megs, Shawnzy came, I think. Yeah, he did. When they did the Haunted Weekends, or...
Yeah, I did.
Wicked Weekends.
Wicked Weekends.
I went to Wicked Weekends. It was 2019, I think.
Was that? Yeah.
I went to that. They did the same set they did at Hallowicked, so I kind of...
Yeah, because I got the Jason... I got the Jason... it was Violent Jason, and then Freddy Too Dope shirts. But I don't know... I think I got mine on the Wicked Weekends. I don't know if those were for Hallowicked or just for the Wicked Weekends or what, but it was just a couple weeks before Hallowicked.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So we went to the Indiana. Did you go to the Indiana one at the Art House?
No, I went to the one in here in Ohio.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we went to that was really weird. It was like literally like a theater with like the padded seats and everything.
Yeah, the one I went to, it was so funny. I walked into the venue and they had carpet.
Yeah, that's what it was too. We're like
you guys
got there.
You know what you're getting into here?
Yeah, we stayed at a hotel about 15 minutes away, and Megan ended up driving us. And we're driving along, like kind of left the city and going through the country. We're like, are we going the right way? And then all of a sudden we just kind of go around a corner, and there's just this little town. There was like a post office and a bar and like a couple other little businesses, and then this theater that was like called the Art Theater or Art House or something like that. And we're just like, this is where they're playing? There's juggalos walking all around. We're like, okay, there's literally like one traffic signal, We're like, whatever. And we go in, and that's where it was. It was crazy. Good show, though.
Oh, yeah. The show I went to was sold out.
Yeah, I think this one was, too.
And
if it wasn't, it was very close.
The whole lineup was killer, because it was like, this was the first time SON decided to come back, so I saw SON, and then it was Cody Manson, and then it was like Big Hoodoo, Green Jelly, and then Ouija Mac. It was like the whole lineup was crazy. That's like one show I can say too, where from front to back it was a killer show.
Yeah, I think we just got there when Big Hoodoo was going on at ours, but yeah, it was Big Hoodoo, Ouija Mac, and then was it Green Jelly or Mushroom Head?
Green Jelly.
Okay, yeah. So we saw them, and then obviously ICP.
Yeah, because the lead singer, he like He like stood on top of my shoulders. He walked from the stage on top of the crowd, and he was standing on my shoulders. I'm like, damn it, bro.
That's awesome.
It was killer though. It was so dope.
One other thing I kind of thought about, because just in a couple days, it's purely speculation. Yum Yum Bedlam's supposed to be dropped at Hallowicked. Have you ever been in a I'm sure you have been in a Hallowicked when they at least like dropped an image, because I know they dropped like Fearless Fred.
Yeah,
and,
Fred Fury. Yeah.
Bang Pow Boom or Mighty Death Pop might have been released on there.
I know they dropped Missing Links at Hallowicked.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, and then obviously Fearless Fred Fury, and at that time I feel kind of bad because it's after I had joined Carnival Spirits, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go live, and I'd never gone live before, so I'm sitting there like waiting for it to drop, and then I'm like, all right, go live, and I didn't realize it was like a countdown, and I'm like, oh god damn it, hurry up, and then they like dropped it. So right as it went live, it had fallen, and I'm like, god damn it, like totally fucked that up, you know. So everybody was counting on me, and I screwed it up. But now I know. So I was there, and then they did the Missing Links, Lost and Found. I believe that's it. I think those are the only ones that I've seen unveiled.
And that the one where they dropped Fearless Fred Fury is the one that was running super late. Like they were on stage at like 1:45 a.m. So they didn't have much time to drop it at all. Like they dropped
quite
it
that late, but it wasn't too much past that. It was after 1.
Yeah, like the club was like about worried about them coming on and then getting their set done before they fucking closed it too.
Yep. Yeah, because that thing came down and it stayed there for like 4 or 5 seconds and then dropped, and it came right back out and started performing again. Like, and
it ended with Underground Baby. It only like 2 minutes of a 7-minute song played.
All the lights came on. They just let it keep playing, but they
straight
went
up
on stage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a fun trip down memory lane for my favorite fucking Juggalo holiday of the year. I know it is Echoside Fiend as well. Hallowicked. I think we did it some justice there, showing us how much love we got for that fucking event. Want to remind you, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can check out a brand new episode of 5 Piece right here on the Fago Lovers Network. Until then, I'm the Joker's Gallery. You just watched 5 Piece. We out.
Too sweet.